Hi, my name is Nakia Franklin.
And I'm Vawn Gretta.
And welcome to this episode of The Real
and Raw Talk
where
Show.
There are no boundaries
and no judgments. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Okay, so before we get started, we need you to allow StreamYard access to your comments. Okay, so it's quick and easy. You have to grant them permission, and to do so, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Now that's StreamYard, StreamYard.com/, which is the button next to the shift key, Facebook. Okay. And that way we will be able to see your questions and your comments live. Over to you, Nakia.
Awesome. Thank you, sis. So today on our show, we are joined with Miss Stephanie D. McKenzie. Are you bringing her in, or you just want me to? There she go.
Hey. Beautiful.
How are you?
Thank
you.
And we're also joined by Miss Lenora Hightower. All right. We are also joined by Jillian Poole.
That would be Jillian Poole.
I am so sorry. You have to go right. Shoulder. And we will also have the guest, Miss Arnett Murray, joining us. She's going to come in a few minutes later, as well as Madame. Is it Madame?
Madame.
Madame. Because I will get course corrected real quick. So these four queens that we have on our today's panel, on the show panel today, we're bringing well over 50 years of total dating and marriage experience, as well as parental experience. We have three ladies that have been married, two are divorced, three have children. Today, our panelist brings wisdom of all areas of life, including love, womanhood, commitment, and reasons for today's topic that we will be discussing: dating, sex, and relationship, a good woman's perspective. And if you know of any good women, we ask that you tag them, we ask that you call them, text them, tweet them, let them know that we are on and we are on live. We want their input, we want their comments, we want them to join this feed, and let the men know that there is something out here that they do not want to miss. They can take home some nuggets. So, sis, over to you.
I'm sorry. I'm 40 heads. I think I realized something. So check the chat. Okay. Our sponsor for today is Christ-like Graphics, and we're also going to honor New Home Programs because we had a little bit of a technical issue last time. And so we want to go ahead and honor them by making sure that you see everything that has to do with their business. Both Christ-like Graphics and New Home Programs have been supporting Wisdom Entertainment since 2010. So that is wonderful. Over to you, Nakia.
Thank you, sis. So tonight's musical guest that we have is Miss Lenora Hightower being featured, and her song is Live Again.
Oh, I cannot wait. You guys are in for a treat with that. And also a young woman who I am so familiar with, Madame X, is going to grace our ears with her poetic stylings. And the name of this title track is Love Is. You guys, I am telling you, get your snap fingers ready. She is amazing. Amazing. Okay, now this is an interactive show. All right. So what I need the audience to know, you guys, please feel free to post your comments. Because I'm wearing several hats, I promise I'm going to be putting in your comments so you can see them. And this is so engaging. We need this because this will allow our guests to see what's on your mind so that they too can respond to some of the things that you're thinking about. Okay?
Awesome. So now it's time to get real and raw. So stick around, post questions, and be ready to enter the no judgment zone. So please, let's welcome our musical guest, Miss Lenora Hightower, as she sings Live Again.
I was sitting here thinking about all I said, how the way the whole world seems to come crashing. But that's one thing that I'm sure of, it's gonna be better days for me. So I made my decision to live. I wanna live again. I wanna live again. Give me another chance to be renewed. I wanna live again. A man named Lazarus was sick and died, but Jesus wasn't worried about rushing to his side. He said it's all for God's glory. It's why I won't be dead. He said Lazarus come forth, so your new life can begin. I want to live again. I want to live. Give me another chance to be renewed. I There was a man named Lazarus. He was sick and died, but Jesus wasn't worried about rushing to his side. He said it's all for God's glory. His life won't be dead. He said, Lazarus, come forth, oh, so your new life can begin. I want to live. Do you want to live again? I want to live again. Give me another chance to be renewed. I want to live again. If you're like me, you wanted to give up sometimes. Have you ever thought about it? You wanted to wave the white flag over and over and surrender all that God is giving you to win. But you can't, but you will. Renew your yeah, I wanna live. I wanna live in my heart, in my mind. I wanna live in my soul. I wanna live. I want my joy. I wanna live. I wanna live in my time and declare the works of the Lord. I wanna live. I wanna live. I wanna live. Yeah, I really wanna live. Oh, sing it with me, la 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 la
Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Amazing. Amazing. I love that. It's so in my head now. La 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 I'm just over here
jamming. I'm like, what is up? What is up? Go, Lenora.
Oh, it was amazing. Thank you so much, Lenora. We'll see you back in just a few minutes, okay?
Absolutely. So, hey, sis. Woo, man, it's like, whoa, right now.
I know.
Let's share why our guests were chosen to be on this episode and get this conversation going on part one. Yes, I said part one of dating, sex, and relationships, the good woman's perspective.
Absolutely.
So, y'all ready for this?
You sound like one of those 90s remember Shy? Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this? Y'all don't be hating. Don't be hating. Congratulate. What's that, Stephanie? Don't hate, congratulate.
Yeah.
All right, sis. Go ahead on. I'm gonna let you have it.
Thank you very much. So, Stephanie, Lenora, and Lenora will be back in just a few minutes. But okay, so Nakia and I have been talking about what a good woman is and how.
Wait, sis, before we do that,
Yeah,
we want to see what they do.
Okay. Well, you told me to talk, so I was talking.
No, but I was like, okay.
You know, we're going to start this evening. I don't even know what time it is. Let me tell you something. I am off for 2.5 weeks. An educator. You know, we made it through. We made it.
Okay, so go ahead. I'm gonna let you handle this. Go ahead. You all right?
I don't want to talk anymore.
Girl, we on a time. We're on a schedule. Go on, sis.
Did you say girl? You went back to Lamarck with that one. Okay, so I will begin by following this amazing script my sister wrote. She is a fabulous script writer. She's amazing. As I was saying before, I was so beautifully interrupted by this gorgeous woman. So we were talking about what a good woman is, right, everybody? And we heard from the men last time, so now we're going to hear from these women. We chose them for several reasons. Not only are they educated, and the qualifications to be a good woman is not just what they present, but these are the reasons. They're educated, they are entrepreneurs, they are beautiful in personality and in their lives with their family. They are sowing seeds into the community, and we thought that they would be able contribute great information regarding what a good woman is. And we know good women are out there, clearly. And these queens are here as women. And as women, we often hear we don't end up with a good man as good women. I know that didn't make sense to a lot of people, but that is something that we hear a lot, especially if you're strong and that's the narrative. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Nakia, because I'm
okay.
Thank you.
You good, sis. Thank you. I just want to ask briefly, Stephanie, what is your occupation?
I'm not going to do you like that tonight. I was about to say something really crazy, but I'm a life coach, relationship coach. Let's just say I am a super coach because I can pretty much coach you in every area of your life.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. Miss Lenora, can you share with us what it is that you do?
I am an educator. I teach at a special needs school in Sugar Land, Texas. I love my job, you guys. Oh my gosh. I love my students and my students love me. And the biggest thing is that they've changed my life. While I'm there trying to change theirs, they have actually been a contributing part into, just kind of shaping who I am. And, every day we want to be better than we were the day before. So they make me better. And so it's just a great experience. I am enjoying what I do.
Awesome. And outside of that, because you did sing tonight, what else do you do professionally?
All right. So I'm a singer. I've been doing this since I was 9 years old. And the Lord has afforded me the opportunity to not only sing locally here in the city of Houston, but statewide, nationwide, and overseas. So God has been good to me. It's just a blessing to be able to share my music with the world. I get to travel doing what I love to do, sharing the good news.
Awesome. Thank you. Miss Jeline, and if I say it wrong, I just correct me like 5 times. I get it right. They say seven times, and then you be all right. Okay, so can you share with us what it is that you do, please?
Good evening. I am Jeline Poole. I'm a 24-year career educator. Currently, I am the director of behavioral health at director of education at a behavioral health facility. So I am working with children, basically teenagers, who need to understand what healthy relationships are, because many of them are there due to trauma, abuse, neglect, and of course we have some sex offenders. And so what I do, in addition to just educate these young people, is to try to help give them direction as to what a healthy relationship looks like outside of, I guess, their experiences.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. Sis, is Miss Arnett here yet? Okay, awesome. Just throw her in there when she gets here, please. Throw her in there. So, Queens, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I would love for you to answer some of them in about 2 or 3 sentences if you can, because I want to make sure that I get an answer from each of you. So can you share with us what is the difference between being a girlfriend, a woman, a lady, and a wife? Don't everybody jump in.
We went deep on you real quick. Look at those faces.
Because
Romantics.
you know, people feel I'm a lady, or yes, I'm his girlfriend or I'm his wife, but you want to have some of the benefits, or you giving up all of the benefits of being a wife, or you giving up all of the benefits of being in a committed relationship. Yet women walk around and they give themselves these labels, okay? And men sometimes give the women these labels, but we have to be mindful of the labels that we're carrying so that we are not living into those labels when we're trying to reach another level in our lives. So, hence the question.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the challenge is ultimately what the meaning is. See, the confusion comes when we assume we understand what's being communicated. So if someone says, "Oh, you're my lady," and you don't know what that means, then the best thing for us to do is to ask, versus assume that this person has said to us, "Oh, you're this," and that means that. They could have ladies all over Houston, Beaumont, Shreveport, the Arklatex. Some of y'all know what that is. I'm from East Texas. They could have ladies everywhere. But I think sometimes as women, and I'm not going to give probably any popular opinions tonight, but that's going to be okay. I think as women, a lot of times we are so programmed to get chose. Bad English, good teaching. That when somebody says you're my this, then we're like, woo! And it's like, but really though? Because we don't want to rock the boat. But Nakia is muted.
I want to
Thank you so much for that. So, Lenora, Jillian, did you say?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say.
Okay, Jillian?
Yes. Ready for me?
Yes, ma'am.
So I want to add to that, because I really, really appreciated what Stephanie just said in terms of we want to get chosen, or we want to have this title, or we just make this assumption because someone may be around for a period of time. So being the woman or being the lady is not being the wife or the wifey. Even in a situation where you're living together, if it's not official, you're not the wifey. You're just the woman that lives there.
Ouch.
I hear you, sis. What do you think about that, Lenora?
No, I was just going to say, I think the difference between being a girlfriend and a wife is the ring and the commitment. I'm one that does not believe in, holding my love back for a person while I try to figure out what's going on. If I'm for you, I'm for you. If I'm going to be spending time with you, I'm going to be spending time with you. If I love you, I love you. I am not that one that because my focus is not, oh, I'm with someone because I want to be married. And I know some women are with men because that's what their focus is. I get that, but I go 24 hours at a time. It's like, let's see where it goes. I'm praying all the way through, asking God, what to do, but I don't believe in, just walking on eggshells and tiptoeing through. If I decide that I want to wash his clothes, I'm going to wash his clothes. If I decide that I want to cook him a meal, I'm going to cook him a meal. I don't think cooking a meal separates, a girlfriend from a wife. It's you give of yourself and you be who you want to be for that person that you're with.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so very much. So, sis, we have Miss Arnett.
Okay, I was trying to do this on the back end, but I'm just going to say this live. Hold it down for me. I got to go get her in here, okay?
Okay, thank you, sis. Awesome. Okay, so ladies, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next question. So around what age did you feel that you were mature enough to handle being in a mutually respected relationship? When did you realize that you hadn't been honoring yourself enough to love yourself and know the difference between just being in a relationship, just dating somebody, just giving up yourself versus being in a mutually respectful relationship?
I probably was about 20.
About 20? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was about 30.
All right.
I was about 44 and I'm 45 now. No, I'm kidding. Definitely not 20, because that's when I made that grave error that took about 10 years of my life to undo. But I definitely began to realize what needs to happen, because up until that point, I was definitely a good woman, the ride or die chick. I had all of these cute little roles I would play, but and I'm not going to get into this right now because I know you want to get into this later. But I think I had to redefine what that actually means. Again, I'm not going to give popular insight tonight because
it's not about being popular. It's about
I'm not going to say the popular thing, I'm sure, but I think that, yes, did I know how to have a relationship? Yes. Did I know how to have a relationship with balance and reciprocity at its core? No, I did not learn that until I actually learned to value myself at a different level. So that's the switch right there.
awesome.
And that didn't happen until my late 30s.
Thank you so much. So a lot of women want to rush into marriage. Gotta be white, the white dress, all the hoopla, right? Recently went to my cousin's wedding and it was beautiful and amazing. Don't get me wrong. And I realized when I was sitting there, because I was recording her, and from the beginning, from the moment the music played and the doors opened to the moment they completed their I do's, literally 13 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, oh my God. So what advice would you or could you share with the audience today based on experiences and or perspectives? Why is there nothing wrong with being single until you are able to get to that place within authenticity and integrity and not just jump into something? And why does it bring so much value to an individual to know how to learn to love themselves first and be in singleness, be within your moment of singleness until you are mature enough and you're developed enough to handle being in that relationship?
Well, there's a lot of work that has to be done on ourselves individually before we want to bring someone else into our lives. I think that at some points in our life, we do live in some form of chaos and turmoil. And it's important, I think, to get rid of that, because you don't want to, I think it's very unfair to bring someone into instability, into, you know, lack of confidence, into whatever it is, whatever the issues of the individual is. I think that it's important to take that time, because you want to be kind and you want to be pleasant to be around. Otherwise, no one's going to stick around. And so you want to definitely, you know, work through those stony places and those hard places in your heart, and really understand what the concept of love is. You know, I always say you have to prepare for the marriage and not the wedding. And that takes time. You got to work on your mind. Oh my gosh, the mind. The brain is so powerful. It's so powerful that it creates scenarios that don't even exist. It can tell you things are going on that aren't even happening. You know, and so we have to get our minds under control as a single person. You know, we have to, you know, work on our heart, and understand that if there's any hurt or residue of hurt there, we have to work through that, because if not, you're just going to go out and hurt somebody because of what was already in you. And so I could go on and on about that, but just do surgery on yourself before you bring somebody into your world.
That's good. So, Ms. Jolene?
I remember, and I don't remember the exact movie, but I want to say Brad was in or somebody like that, but he said, you know, you complete me. And I just think that as a single person, especially a single woman, we have to realize that we need to be complete ourselves. We just cannot go into a situation broken, looking for someone to complete us. We've got to be complete. Two broken things together do not make a whole. You've got to have a whole on your own. And that's the only way that, you know, the marriage itself would even survive, if you come into it as a whole person. But, you know, we do see the Cinderella story. We think that marriage is the ultimate end goal. Happiness is the end goal, whether it's marriage or whether it's through loving on yourself. But coming into something just looking for someone to make us happy and someone to make us feel better is not going to be what's healthy in the end.
I totally agree with that. Steph, do you have anything that you wanted to say before we move on?
I mean, ultimately, we're talking about very matured mindsets. You know, I don't think there are very many women who are here, nor men who were taught to love themselves at higher levels. I don't think there are very many people that are taught that before you get married, you actually need to have a conversation that's not 6 weeks with your pastor and then walk on down the aisle. I don't think there are many people who are taught that you have to do more than just get married to be married. And all of those things come sometimes they never come, but a lot of those realizations come as a result of the heartbreak and the grief and the grieving of lost relationships, and you know, having and of course having people around you that support you in seeking a deeper understanding of how to love and live in the world. You know, these are very evolved mindsets, like in our 20s, and of course it depends on how you grew up. Younger women, older women. A lot of older women, I saw a comment earlier that says this must be for younger women because this 45-year-old is fine either way. Yeah, because the beauty is that some of us have evolved to that. But there are 45-year-old women that are walking around that are still trying to get love out of a turnip, that are still trying to overgive and over effort, and so that he will love her or she will love her, because, you know, whatever. I'm not here to judge. It's the no judgment zone, right? So, you know, whatever they want, they're out here still over giving and over efforting, hoping that they will be chosen as somebody's forever. They're still out here playing doggy in the window. You know, a doggy in the window performs and makes little faces and it bounces around. It's like, pick me, pick me. And I'm like, no, until we get to the point where we realize that what we're seeking is seeking us. So I'm just showing up because I'm sought after, then we will continue to do that. And it doesn't matter if you're 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, and even 60-year-old women that are going through that same thing. And I know because I've had some of these clients. They haven't learned that this love that I want so badly has to come to me, from me first.
All right. All right, y'all. Y'all getting it really wrong. It's not about satisfying your egos. It's not about just giving you fluff. We're here to have real conversations about real topics and real situations and experiences, things that people are dealing with every single day of their lives. And it's important to get yourself together, get yourself right, get yourself healed in the process of your singleness and or your togetherness, because some of y'all are not single anymore. You're together. You already are in a relationship with a mate. And it doesn't mean that you can't step back internally for a second and kind of like check yourself and feel your own heartbeat and see where you are, what position you're in, where you're standing, where you are trying to go with your commitment to your significant other, to your partner, to your mate. So it's so important that we have these conversations. And ladies, this has been amazing. And I apologize for the technical difficulties that we're having. And we're trying to get Miss Arnett in the live feed, and we're working.
We got it going on since we done figured it out over here on the back end. We're family. And I said it before and I'll say it again. There are two things I love about the situation that we're in right now. One is we get to be human, flawed, and still beautiful, or if you're a man, handsome and awesome in this situation. And we can be professional in our flaw, because it's the quality. It's not these little details of quirks. So right now, I'm going to bring on the poet, sis. Okay. And the reason why I'm going to bring her on is because we need.
You don't have to explain. You don't have to explain, sis. You got this.
She married it. Back to the script. Never mind. I'm not doing nothing. We saying this, and while we're at it, we're going to start talking about my favorite subject. I probably can say that on the internet.
Girl, you know it's your favorite subject. It's all good. Keep it going. Keep it going. Really raw. Really raw.
We're talking about sex.
Say it right. We're talking about sex.
We're talking about, say it again, Nakia.
Sex. Don't be afraid. It's the truth. Sex. What?
All them pretty lips up on there. Lord have mercy. She gonna be that. Looking back, lady, let me get it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. You came in on the best topic. Hey. All right, here we are. Go ahead, sis.
Oh my God. Uh-oh. So break, freeze. So it pumped my poet out. So we're gonna have to bring her in. So somebody's gonna go out, and then I'm going to get her back in, okay?
Okay, but go ahead.
In just a second. I'll go into it. Anyway, so looking back on your younger you ladies, okay, we're gonna go into this lovely subject. So, what advice would you give when considering having sex for the first time? Do you have real conversations with your sons and daughters, like I do, or youth that you may mentor about sex? I certainly do, as a former high school teacher. And give us the best advice you have for our 17-year-old and younger in one or two sentences, if you can do that. So we want to hear about all that. What's your thoughts on celibacy? Being equally yoked with a husband or partner, especially in today's society, especially with COVID. Because, like, if you don't have a live-in boo, like, do you let him come on over? Because I'm like, I'm keeping this mask on, boy. You can take him, but you ain't getting through this mask because I don't know you. I don't know what your lips have been. But on the real tip, like, for instance, I personally, well, anyway, I don't want anybody touching me that has not earned the right to my most intimate embrace. I would like to blame it on the Lord and say, oh, because I'm a Christian and I'm sold out. These things are true. But the truth is that, I want to do it for love. I want to do it for the ability, be in that place where I know that it's not just a sexual satisfaction coming from his end, but that he is honoring the opportunity to be with me, period. Not just I get to have sex or it's gonna be good or whatever, because it's gonna be good. But
It's gonna be good, huh?
But it's her skin that I get to touch. It's her nucleus I get to embrace. She's letting me into what makes her her, to the most vulnerable place that nobody else can get to. Do you have an appreciation for that, my brother? That is what I'm talking about. And that to me is the essence of said celibacy. And this is what I convey to my friends, my students, people who ask me, and again, this is the no judgment zone. So you do whatever you got to do. This is what Vawn Gretta is talking about.
So ladies, her first question is, what advice would you give, looking back at your younger you, what advice would you give you when considering having sex for that first time?
You stupid. Don't you do that. You dumb as hell. Don't you do that. Don't you do that.
Because if you see a young kid like in high school or whatever, you say you can go grab any 40-year-old woman and they will tell you I should have waited. Now, if all the 40-year-old women are saying that, what does that tell you?
Don't you do that.
Miss Arnett, what would you say?
You know what? I agree. I played. Can y'all hear me? I have played all roles in my younger day. So you know what that means. I ain't gotta go into details.
Hey.
So that being said, when I'm able to evaluate oneself, she is right. I should have waited. And because sex distorts things, and we take a little bit more when they know how to lay the pipe, if you will.
Wait a minute. All right now.
So I think that as my Greta said, I'm being honest. I told you I played all roles. You know what? We played some roles in our past.
Yeah.
And if that joker could lay the pipe, we would take a little bit more, and you know it.
Well, all right now. Praise the Lord.
But now, you say praise the Lord, I love it. But now in my older self, I tell my younger, as like Greta said, younger women, you need to wait because you want to see who he's about. Because a lot of times they're just gaming you. They just want the cookies. They don't want you. So she's right. That's real.
All right, you better speak.
But let me tell you something. As an older woman who has also played all roles,
be honest, I love it.
Been that woman. When you talk about somebody laying the pipe, the older me says I could get my own pipe if I need to. So
the pipe,
Jesus.
It's just not worth it. Back then, I thought it was everything, but if I need to get my own pipe, I'll do it.
Hey.
That's what I would have told myself.
These queens, baby, y'all better recognize these queens. They are telling the truth. This is what we do. We don't have time to be playing with nobody. We trying to think, okay? Y'all wisdom from these women. Lenora, what you have, lady? What do you want to say?
I would have waited because the first time it wasn't good, right? But my thing is, I do believe that celibacy is the way. And growing up, I would hear older women say, keep your dress down and your legs closed. They would say things like that. Or they would say, don't have, sex, or don't let anybody touch your no squares. But nobody was explaining why. And I was that kid. It's like, I got to try and see what they're telling me not to do, right? Let's push the envelope. Let's see how far we can go. Let's figure this thing out for myself. But nobody said, this is the closest you can be to a person physically. And this person, their bodily fluids are being mixed with yours. And if you don't watch it, if they crazy, you'll start acting crazy too, right? So nobody was really, giving us the real and raw about what having sex before marriage really was about. So if I could go back and tell my younger self, I would say, girl, wait, because it ain't even what you think it is. But it's not until you become an adult and you really get in touch with who you are emotionally, and who the other person is emotionally. And I'm like Vawn Gretta, it's like you gotta have that connection. Like I'm all for waiting, for marriage. But in some cases, some people aren't able to do that. So you just have to be careful out here in these streets. You want to make sure the person is down for you like you're down for them. In other words, let them be somewhere in your life, and you're that same place in their life.
Absolutely.
And it's all good, and it needs to last more than 2 minutes. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, Father Jesus.
I have she say 2, longer than 2, 3, 4, 5.
60 minutes plus.
I feel like we need to call and look at that.
When they were like, can we just go real hard one time and go into a coma like sleep? Okay.
Let me touch it. Okay, so I want to ask this question, and then we're going to bring our poet on shortly. I want to ask this question: when do you feel like it's appropriate to have that conversation with your children? About what age, and do you have those conversations about having sex and intimacy with your children? Because we need to educate our youth.
Yeah.
I started talking to my kids when they were around 10, 11-ish, and they were like, ew, I don't want to talk about it, right? That was gross, and I kept saying, okay, one day, you're going to start having these feelings for someone, and you got to start talking about it now so that you're not surprised and you know how to handle these emotions when they come. And of course, that day came, and while I was trying to equip them and make sure they were ready, when that day came, I wasn't ready.
I feel that. So we're going to get ready to have a word from our sponsor, and then we're going to bring our poet in.
Right. And as soon as we come back from our sponsor, we're going to go right into the poet. So let me talk about this sponsor, everybody. Christ-like Graphics. You can find them at Christ-like Graphics on Facebook. If you see any paraphernalia from me, whether it's a flyer or a logo, believe me, it's Reginald Blank that took care of that. And also, I'm going to play a quick little video about home ownership. And then, and the reason why is the last time we had them on, we had some technical difficulties. I had to learn a few little things. So let's play them now. We're going to bring the poet in, and then we're going to keep going with these awesome good women.
Let me tell you my story. And I'm sure my story is pretty similar to your guys' story. Okay, so whatever you're going through, trust me, you're not alone. We already know it. How many people went to go look at homes before they even had their credit check? Hey, okay. Our vision and our mission is assisting buyers and sellers as a service to the community. Credit score is not magic. It's based on 5 factors that we can actually control. In a perfect world, if you was to maximize each one of the 5 factors of credit scoring, you would have 839 points. $100 per month of debt, you drop in your qualifying amount by $10,000. So if I had $1,100 monthly payment, that equaled a $110,000 house. Down payment is typically going to be a stumbling block for most people. It's almost impossible for the average American to save up $10,000 because you don't make that much. I've been doing this for 14 years. I've been watching the flow of money from the state of Texas on the county level and the city level. Harris County, they'll give you like $24,000 to buy a brand new home. This is a state brochure. I didn't make this up. If you guys are saying, I'm looking to buy within the next 12 months, then you're in the right place. Even if it's 1 year from now, you need to get started within that 12-month window. Do not wait until the last minute. I don't know what your definition of easy is, but I will try to make your life as easy as possible because I already know all the roadblocks, okay? And I'm knocking them out the way so that you don't have to get tripped up. Nobody wants to keep paying somebody else rent and making them rich. How many people are comfortable, okay, or not afraid to be able to take at least the first step of buying a home?
I really appreciate the honesty, the steps, and how to get started. I dealt with other realtors, and it really was, the story wasn't adding up. So when I came here, it was a great thing for me.
For those of you who live here, it's time for you to get up and take a stance. Because I did it from 1,600 miles away. So if I could do it from New York, you can do it here.
Been real good to us. You know, I'm working with a great agent named Tiffany, and I'm just trying to buy a home because I want to be eventually a homeowner.
All right, we're back. Thank you guys for watching that message from that was Corey and Millie Kamadiner with New Home Programs, newhomeprograms.com. Okay, so now we are going to our featured poet, and let me tell you guys, we're going to post some information about her, how you can get her album, but you guys get ready for Madame X. This young lady is amazing. Get your snapping fingers ready. She is getting ready to go with it. Over to you, sweetheart.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. This is called Love Is. Love and action. However, lately I've been acting out of fear, consumed by my thoughts, accepting anything and everything anybody tells me I am. Sitting here, questioning, who am I? What am I? I desire love, we all do. However, I translate fear, blocking out the good, keeping in the bad, looking at you like you're the issue, when in reality, it's a reflection of who I am. See, the mirror was my worst enemy. It showed me truth. And when you are face to face with truth, you have no other option but to bow down. So who you bowing to? Hate, resentment, turmoil, toxic, jaded. These are the words that once described a certain aspect of my energy, but my energy is only for me to keep protected. When I say love is a vibe, love is a being, love is me, love is you, love is honest, love is transparent, love is forgiveness, love is real, love is understanding that you may not always be loved, and that's okay. No, they may not want you, however, there is nothing wrong with you. You are just not what they want, and that's okay. So I sit here in my silence, in my naked truth, bearing all of me, bearing all of my soul, bearing all of my truth. Will you listen till the end? Will you acknowledge yourself as a friend? Or will you leave me once again? See, if you leave, close the door. Please do not leave it cracked. I do not need anyone coming in and out. And if you are in, hold gentle to my heart. Speak kind to my spirit. Uplift my mind. See, in the realm of fear, I consume rather than produce. In fear, I see ego as when you operate out of ego, you deny your truth. So once again, who are you bound down to? Thank you guys so much for having me. You guys can check out my new EP on all streaming platforms. It is Madame X, MADAME, capital X. Snap,
That was
snap,
amazing.
snap. Thank you guys.
I'm sorry, Boo. I went too quick. I tried to memorize it. Hey, you guys, let me tell you something before I forget to tell you. This young lady can sing it all. I know you can't really hear the back, but her volume is, it's like acoustic. She's doing all the music with her voice, and her whole body is her instrument. Thank you so much for being on with us, my darling. Stay with
Thank
us,
you so much for having me.
that, my dear.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. So, okay, ladies, we finna move on. We are being respectful and cognizant of time. So we're gonna start talking about relationships. So this is what I want to address. Give me, I want each of you to give me one question that a woman should ask of a person that they're considering to seriously date.
My question is, do you have children?
You're muted. Both of you. Okay.
My question would be, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say
my
emotional heal.
I can't see anybody.
You can't see anybody? We see you, Lenore.
Hi.
What's your question, Ms. Arnett?
I would ask, are you married? Are you down low? Are you? I'm just being honest. I just want to know, are you married? Are you down low? I mean, just be what are you? Just what are you?
Please tell us.
Amen. Stephanie?
Miss Arnett is my spirit animal. I've just decided tonight I'm adopting her and I'm going to stalk her, and that's that. Okay. As long as you're clear. Okay. I love her. Let's see, a question I need to ask, because at the end of the day, the person that I'm dealing with needs to multiply the love and the care that I have for myself and not just add to it, because adding to it means there might be a deficit on my end, which means they can't actually add to it. So then my question would be, what have you done to heal the wounds of your soul? And I would probably ask it just like that. What healing modalities have you dealt with? What wounds have you dealt with? You know, what are you healing right now? Like, I want to know. And they may not have a great answer because our men are not programmed to do that. But I would really want to know, like, do you even value being whole? Do you even know what that is?
Wow, thank you. Miss Jillian?
Absolutely.
Miss Jillian?
Oh, she's muted.
All right. So basically, because I'm a stickler for not being second place and not being the backup person, and I need to know, what do you see me as, or what do you expect of me?
Awesome. Thank you, ladies. So I have a challenge for you.
Did Lenore say something? I don't remember.
No, I said something earlier, but I wasn't sure if you guys caught it. I was just saying that one of the questions that I ask is, do you have children, and what is your relationship with them? Because I think there's nothing more disgusting than a man who doesn't take care of their children.
Yeah, we did hear from her, absolutely. And thank you, Lenore, for repeating that, because we didn't get the second part of that. So, okay.
What's wrong?
No, I'm in thought.
Well, so, thought, because I'm gonna tell you, ladies, all of y'all ask the exact, like, you know, when you first meet a guy, who do you want to know? I'm like, okay, I want to know, do you how often do you get to talk to your children? I flat out with you, Arnetta. I'm like, what's your sexual preferences? Be real, and I want to ask that in their face, because I need to see that response eye to eye. And you know, as of late, Stephanie, I'm so with you. I want to know the emotional healing that you've gone through. I mean, I just need to know, because you know, you're not going to pay for the things that you haven't processed and dealt with. You know, and then I have to play, have to put on my social worker hat, and you can't. That is not something you can really fix. They have to want to. I mean, you're gonna wear yourself in the ground with it, and I'm with you too on that too. But definitely the question about the children and the emotional healing, and you know, yeah.
Awesome.
We gotta talk later. Yeah.
So we're gonna move quickly, and thank y'all, ladies, for being so great. So recently I learned about a term called love bombing. So I'm gonna take a moment to share with you all, because I'm 46 and had no idea, never heard of love bombing before, didn't know it was a thing. And I got the definition from multiple sources: Healthline, Psychology Today, Wikipedia, Urban Dictionary, Cosmopolitan, as well as Stephanie B. McKenzie, because she's the one that dropped it in my face. I was like, what? What is that? So a basic definition of love bombing is showing extreme affection, love, and passion towards someone for a short period of time in the hope of winning that person's trust. This technique gets the person hooked on the feeling of being loved. Also, it is a predatory tactic used to seduce and ensnare an individual into a romantic relationship or a con or even a cult. Often used by gold diggers, narcissists, and dependent types that like to lock down their prey. And then someone who comes back all of a sudden to shower you with over-the-top displays of flirtation, affection, love, gestures. They've been hot and cold with you over and over in your life 1 minute, and then ghosting you the next without warning. So my question, I want to know if you ladies have ever experienced this, and how do you identify that relationship where it is not safe, healthy, or genuine? How did you get out of that toxic experience, if you ever experienced that? And we have approximately 3 minutes. I just want to be responsible for time, but I do want to ask this question because I felt it's extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
I walked away.
Okay.
Walked away.
No, really though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You walked away because
Oh, I'm sorry. I walked away because it wasn't healthy for me. I think a lot of times we as women aren't taught that we can make the decision to walk away. We've sat around for so long waiting on men to leave us, waiting on them to make the decision. And so, you get to a point, in your womanhood where you say, I make the choices about my life. And if I decide that this is toxic and dysfunctional, I'm going to walk away.
Absolutely. And Stephanie, you're unmuted. You want to go ahead?
Oh, well, in my case, we were separated, and there was some divine intervention that came in. So, yay me. Not so good for him, but yay me.
Miss Arnett, you talking, but you're very much muted, love.
Basically, I was married to, I thought you were describing my ex-husband. So that's why we're divorced. That's what I thought you were describing. So I divorced and started over with me loving me and knowing me.
Me loving me and knowing me. All right.
Miss Jolene?
I put him out. He was in the house. Had put him out. And once I walked away, and when I didn't walk away, I sent him packing. Just did not look back. And like Miss Arnett said, I had to learn to love myself. I had to decide that I was going to be first. But that's like huge now. I had to be first.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, it is so important whether you are a female or a male and you are in a toxic relationship. We highly recommend you seek assistance if you need assistance, because every situation is not very easy to just walk out of it. Sometimes you experience stalking, sometimes you experience violence, sometimes you experience people that have the ways of manipulating you and speaking to your heart, okay, because they've learned you so well. So it's critical that you seek help. It's critical that you have conversations with people that you can trust, someone that is not in relationship with or association with that your partner, who can give you true advice and help you find a way to safely exit out of your experience, because we don't want anyone to get hurt. We don't want anyone to take an action, and their situation is not that easy to walk away. And if it is that easy to walk away, love yourself first and be bold, unapologetically, and don't be afraid to say no, and be okay with the outcome. Be okay with the fact that you're saying no, because you are living for you. You are fighting for yourself, your life, your health, your children, if you have children. And don't allow them to be victimized and re-victimized because of what we think is love. because love has many faces, and we have to be able to really truly identify what type of love experience we're in. So thank
Nakia,
you lady,
can I
so
say
very
something really quick? Nakia, let me say something really quick on that, really quick. When you
listen.
said that they have to be able to be safe, they want to be safe to get out. Listen, you ladies, if I mean, I will avail myself if you need a cry for help. You know what I mean? Because you never know. Having written that book that I wrote, a lot, Dear Sister, the Abuse is Over, a lot of people send me private messages, and I want you to know it is okay for you to say, I love you, Nakia. It is okay for you to say, this happened to me. You can say, this thing happened to me. And when you're able to say, whatever this is, that's when healing truly begins. All right. And if it's
Absolutely.
too scary, because the reason why Nakia is saying that, you guys, she worked with offenders for a long time. And so this is real close to her heart to share this. I was on the other end of that. So being in a place of being abused. So what we're saying is coming from the heart. And we don't want to take for granted that there are people actually watching this who are afraid that somebody may hear them watching this and they may go upside their head. That's
Right.
how serious this is. Okay.
Absolutely.
So send us
And
the private message, and we'll try to help you walk through getting some help, getting out, doing what we can do.
refer you to, because
Not us personally.
we're
We will
not
refer you
we're
to
not licensed
someone.
to any of that.
None of
And I've been through the experience as well. So I'm speaking on something that I know for a fact, and that, having a new term on things, you can get caught up and re-caught up in some situations and have no idea, but you identify those red flags, and trust your heart, trust yourself, trust your sixth senses. That's why God gave them to us. So we're going to move on. And, that's all we have for today's episode. Unfortunately,
at the end.
I know of the Real and Raw show, and this has been so great, so informative. Thank you to all those that have engaged, those that have shared and shared the content. And thank you, Stephanie, for the www.thehotline.org for people to reach out and get help. She's an amazing resource herself. She does have the relationship firm and the firm that talks about and supports healing, wholeness, and just loving yourself and getting healed from all areas. So she is a resource that anybody can tap into. And so I definitely did that shameless plug because I am a part of her community as a community leader. And we thank y'all for being present and for really just listening and engaging with us and giving us the opportunity to put on this platform conversations that make a difference, conversations that bring value, conversations that people really deep inside want to talk about and hear about, but don't have the outlet, the platform, or the wherewithal to know how. And that is why we are real and why we are raw. And it's not all about being raunchy, but because we are classy, we are professional, and we are graceful ladies. And it's about bringing to you what the world needs to know about. So we thank our guests, Stephanie D. McKenzie. We thank you, Miss Lenora Hightower, Miss Arnett Murray, and Miss Jillian Poole, Madam X, our poetic guest for this evening. And I definitely want to do a shameless shout out to my son, Kamani Kyrie Henderson. His birthday today. He turned 15. And I just want to tell the world he's amazing and I love him. So
you better talk about your baby.
You can join
wonderful.
Every first and third Monday.
Thank you guys so much for joining. All of the guests who've been posting, you guys, thank you so much. This feed is going to be up so you can continue to share it. And if you have people who are not on Facebook, you can go to our YouTube page and share that with them because a lot of people enjoy YouTube. That way they can do that. So thank you so much. It's hour goes by so fast, but ladies, your insight was amazing. You're both beautiful, intelligent. You are wise and lovely. And your character just exudes through these airwaves. I thank you. So I know we both thank you for taking your time this evening, for prepping with us, and for being on the show.
Absolutely. And please join us every first and third Monday starting January 2021. We will be on every first and third Monday at the new time, 9 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. on the Real and Raw Talk Show with Nakia Franklin and Vawn Gretta. Yes, so January 4th, 2021, 9 p.m. Our next topic, dating, sex, and relationships from God's perspective. So we definitely
from women and now to God.
Absolutely, because we're trying to give y'all a full value of everything. Sis, take it away.
I don't even know where I am.
Of course you don't.
I mean, because let me tell y'all something. I do a bunch of stuff because she said all of my stuff. I'm not going to repeat what you. Okay, so for each episode, we have sponsors, everybody. I'm just cutting up. And if you want to find out more about becoming a sponsor, and you really should, as you saw how beautiful New Home Programs was presented, being a guest or even a musical or spoken word artist, and you know some, like Jalena's from Memphis. You don't have to be from Houston. We're just where we are. Please reach out to the Real and Raw Talk Show. Do so by emailing info.realrawtalkshow@gmail.com. Again, that's info.realrawtalkshow@gmail.com. And we will be in contact with you. Thank you so much again to the audience for joining us, to the ladies and our musical guests. Thank you for being authentic, vulnerable, and transparent in the no judgment zone where there are no boundaries. Right, Nakia?
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. So to everyone listening, if you have a topic, please email us and tell us your thoughts. We also want to hear from you about this episode. Share it with your friends, families, even your enemies. We want everybody in the world to know about this and to definitely be able to get healed from any experience and be able to get value and get wisdom from what it is that we do. And remember to love our page. Don't just like our page. Follow us and get the updates on Facebook as well as YouTube. Real and Raw Talk Show with Nakia Franklin and Vawn Gretta. This way you will never miss an episode and you have the ability to engage with us in real time. On a sincere note, we need your support. We ask that you heart us, hug us, wow us, throw us all kinds of emojis. This is better than just hitting the like button. And it's how we build our followers. So those listening and watching, and how we create content with you in mind.
Absolutely.
So again, I'm Nakia Franklin.
And I'm Vawn Gretta.
And we are the host of The Real
and Raw Talk Show,
where there are no boundaries
and no judgments.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us.